Hey friends, it's Jen with Chappy Plans. Thanks for hanging out with me for a Memory Planning Monday Project Life video. If you'd like to see what I'm going to do for this week, then stick around. friends, how's it going? I am so excited to be in my Project Life album. I'm obsessed with this scrappy venture that I started just a few months ago, and I'm really getting the hang of it, and I am really loving it. Today I decided not to do any stamping because I have some baby chicks behind me. You can probably hear them chirping away, but I've had a lot of Nora's friends in and out of the craft room, and I kind of just needed to get this done as soon as I could. It still ended up taking me about an hour and a half to complete the whole thing, but that's okay. So I decided I'm going to use a mixture of mostly Studio Calico, but also, of course, Ali Edwards products. I don't know that I use any Paper Person products today. It's, I think, just Studio Calico and Ali Edwards. And I decided some of the elements that I want to be throughout the spread are going to be those two washi rolls. Oh, I lied. That is a Paper Person washi, that bird, blue washi with the birds. And then the smiley face washi is actually a Heidi Swap washi from an old Stop the Blur kit. So I add the washi. I'm going to use those puffy rainbows from Ali Edwards. The little tiny acetate smiley faces are from Studio Calico. The labels are from Studio Calico. And I use a mixture of Ali Edwards and Studio Calico cards. I like to cut out my journaling because otherwise the video would be longer than necessary and it's really not that exciting to watch. But the stories that I'm sharing this week are super fun. On Monday was Memorial Day. We had Nora's friend over and they played outside literally all day. And then on Tuesday it was back to school and I took a picture of Nora on the monkey bar. She was showing me how she could skip bars, which is something she'd been working on and was really excited to show me. And then of course that night I got sick. We were out running errands at Walmart getting things because I promised her she could have like sort of a kickoff to the summer party with a few of her friends on Friday, and lo and behold, we're at Walmart running errands and my nose just starts gushing like out of nowhere. I'm sneezing, my nose is runny. I start feeling like really I'm like, oh, this is a sinus infection. I haven't had one of these in a long time. And I'm not sure if it was a sinus infection. I think actually what it was like allergic rhinitis, but it was rough. So I ended up waking up the next day. I went to bed Tuesday night knowing that I was going to be sick. I could feel it. I couldn't smell, my head was full of fluid. And then I woke up Wednesday and I felt like death. And I literally didn't get out of bed almost the entire day. I did a ton of work on PTA stuff, but I did it from home in bed. So it was, there were fun stories, but I was really sick Wednesday all day, which is not like me. And then Thursday, and yeah, I took it easy and basically did nothing those 2 days, which is so not like me. And I think that's honestly why I got sick. And that's usually what happens is like I operate at 100 miles an hour, 24/7, and then my body just crashes and is like, no, you need to rest. So that's what I did for most of it. And it was, it was okay. I survived. I had to be better by Friday because there was kindergarten orientation and I just had been looking forward to speaking at it all year. Not that I want to speak in front of a group of people. I actually hate that part, but I really am trying to build our PTA and our school community. And so I knew that it was important for me to be there. So anyhow, I'll get to that story in a minute. But now you just saw me use some chipboard pieces to decorate the photo of Nora. It just says love this on repeat. And I think it came with the Make Story kit. And then the smiley face on that little title card, those little blue, yellow, and pinkish circles are not just polka dots. They're little tiny smiley faces that match the acetate smiley faces. And then I embellished this photo of Nora holding a baby chick that was just hatched 2 days prior because her classroom had them, and that's why you hear them in the background. We have the chicks, and they are big. They are much bigger. They are like 10, 11 days old now, and they're trying to fly, and my husband had to build like a cage top wire thing to put over it so they don't fly out, and they're going to be going home with one of the teachers at her school this week. But I get to return them tomorrow, which I'm filming this on a Sunday way ahead of time because Nora actually has a friend over right now. But anyhow, that photo is so cute. I love that picture of her. She looks so happy. That chipboard Live in the Moment came from the newest Studio Calico Documenter kit. And what I did was I just trimmed down that 4x6 card with all the smiley faces because a couple of them were like sad faces and mad faces. And I didn't really need those. And I was just wanting to have a place to tell the stories of the beginning part of the week and how I got sick. And then I just embellished the top and the bottom with the smiley face washi because it was just I don't know. I have a thing with white space, so I use the washi just to add a little bit more color. I finish that half of the week and then I move over to the right. And this one has a lot of photos. I picked the one, it's actually my favorite photo of Nora and her three friends who came over laying on the trampoline. And I'm just embellishing the outside of that Ali Edwards 4x6 card with some of the puffy rainbows, just three. That chipboard piece at the top came from Studio Calico, and I did edit out some of it because I'm trying to hide one of my daughter's friends' faces. So I'm going through my color theory note cards so that I can journal on the back of this just to tell the story about what they did together that Friday evening. I made them a charcuterie board and root beer floats, and it was like 90 degrees. So they played outside almost the whole time in the water slide, on the trampoline, and at one point they did come inside, but it was just for a little while to do each other's hair and makeup and do a little bit of Barbies. So I'm just going to embellish the photo with the washi and then did a little journaling on one of those Studio Calico labels. And on the front of the photo, I'm going to add this chipboard piece that says, "Yum, this is delicious," because it's root beer floats and they're cheersing. And then I'm trying to figure out how to embellish these photos of Nora and her friends. So that's them in the pool and then them eating their little like charcuterie board. So I embellished the photo of the water slide with the enjoy this chipboard, or I don't know if that's what it says. It's something like that. Enjoy the summer, enjoy the weather, something. I was trying to make that awesome pennant work, but it just was too big. So I shuffle through a bunch of my embellishments to try to figure out how I'm going to do the picture of them eating outside, and I go with my washi again. And I love the little word phrases from Ali Edwards. They're like my favorite. So I chose this afternoon and then layered it with a little puffy rainbow. And at the very end of this video, I end up adding a little acetate smiley face because I realized I don't really have any on the right side of the page. I have them on the left. And then I'm looking to embellish this really fun 3x4 card that just came in the Studio Calico documenter kit. And I end up using the Seek Fun from the Seek Story kit. And then I'm going to make two flip ups for the bottom because I have two photos for Saturday and two photos for Sunday. One is Nora chilling in her cozy cove, which is actually underneath her loft bed. I had to really edit that photo because she was in the dark, but she had just like these fluorescent lights on and she was just watching something on YouTube, which was hilarious. But that was Saturday, and I ended up spending the whole day wanting to do absolutely nothing after, you know, I was still recovering from being sick and having all those girls over. So I spent the whole morning and early afternoon trying to figure out how to make these files print then cut on my Cricut, which is brand new to me, and I ended up figuring it out. It took quite a while, a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of like trial and error. Even the sweet Tracy Reed tried to help me through it because I was trying to print and cut her new Fierce collection, which by the way is amazing, and I will be using it very soon, so stay tuned. So I figured out that I want to embellish this picture of the cat inspecting the Cricut machine. He was very curious about it. It was hilarious. So I'm glad I could get them both in the picture. So I just use this little arrow from, it's a chipboard arrow from Studio Calico, and then the label, and then the little acetate smiley face, which I like shuffled around a bunch of times before I settled on where I was gonna attach it with my tiny attacher. I create another flip up of the picture of Nora and her friend Abby, who stayed over that Saturday evening. About like 3/4 of the way through the day, Nora decided she was super bored, and I was like, well, why don't we see if her friend Abby is available, which she's pretty busy, so we were surprised, but she was able to come over, and she ended up staying over because we all go to the same church in the morning, so it was no big deal. And that's the only sleepover Nora's ever had, is her friend Abby over, and the last time she stayed, they both slept amazing. And unfortunately this time Nora did not sleep great, but Abby did, so but it was fine. It worked out. But they were just playing hide and seek, quote unquote hide and seek. I knew where they were, but they were in this big box that we had left over from a new air filter we got. And so I just thought it was really funny that they were both trying to fit. They're actually both in the box. Like the picture of Nora, her friend Abby, who's teeny weeny, is behind her. So they both kind of fit in the box at the same time, which was hilarious. So I journaled about that and about how Abby slept over. And that was really it for the rest of our week. but I need a little card for underneath the flip up, so I chose the Seriously So Darn Good from the Good Story Kit and just journal about the hide and seek. I really wanted to use a seeking themed card, but none of them really fit, and I didn't want to do a lot of journaling, so I used the So Darn Good one, and then I used a chipboard piece from the Seek kit, so it worked out. And in fact, the chipboard piece says, I think it says like playing a game of hide and seek. And then I use this little smiley die cut and just punched it down so it was just 1.5 inches instead of closer to 2, because it had a big white border that I didn't really care for. And then the card next to it is, it says make something, and that goes perfectly with the picture of the Cricut and how I'm trying to make the print and cuts. Embellish it with another puffy rainbow, added some finishing touches, and that's really it for the rest of this week's spread. Okay, friends, here is my spread for the week of May 29th through June 2nd. Super cute. Love how it turned out. I'm going to do my silent sort of close-ups, and yeah, I hope you guys had a good time this Monday checking out my project life. I really love the way this turned out. The colors are really fun, and the smiley faces are always a favorite. So here we go. All right, my sweet friends. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I will link the companies below of the items that I used. Don't forget, I am an affiliate for scrapbook.com, so be sure to check out their website if you're looking for any scrappy paper goods. And yeah, come back and hang out with me again. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care, sweet friends, and remember that you are enough. Bye-bye.